come on in because we are rounding out season 16 of Married at First Sight. I know we're about to talk about all these divorces, but shoot, a lot of us have been divorcing. This show is going on so long. Somebody told me that the reason why the season is so long is because they switched from 2-hour episodes to an hour-and-a-half episodes. So as a result, we had to watch more episodes. I don't know. What y'all think? Do you want to go back to the 2 hours with shorter episodes, or do you like the hour-and-a-half with longer episodes? I think I prefer maybe the 2 hours with a shorter season. That's going to be my vote. What y'all vote? Y'all drop down in the comments. Tell me, do you prefer this long season or do you prefer the shortened season, but maybe if the episodes need to be longer? And actually, you know what? We should be able to have a short season and not long episodes, to be truthfully, honestly. But anyway, the reunion came on, and first thing I saw was Shaq and Kirsten dressed in the same color. And I was like, what? Are they together? Are they together? But leave it to Shaq and Kirsten to always put on an image like they together, and they not even together. I know they coordinated their outfits. I know they did, because you know these two love to have an image, and they don't even talk, but I know they sent a text on that. What color you wearing? Okay, I'm gonna wear the same color. Oh my goodness. Some things never change. Some things never change. Nicole says she got a taste of her own medicine being out here in the streets, people coming up to her, getting in her business. She said she got a taste of her own medicine because she's always in other people's business. So now she knows what it's like to be intrusive in people's lives, because she's saying fans is coming up to her. Clint's talking about he's still living in the building with Nicole and Chris as well. I don't know. How's that working out? I don't know if I would like that. But anyway, he's doing it. Mac, we know, is back in Michigan. Don was like, I told you so. I told you so. Oh, a lot of us told you so. We knew what Mac was going to be doing, moving. We knew Mac was going to be moving out of Tennessee. And like I said, Eris may not be too far behind him. And then they start talking about that little slender comment once again with Gina. And what was Gina's response when they was playing the video over again about when Clint told her he usually dates a slender women? Gina said, well, who does he think he is? He doesn't know how much I work out every single week. What difference does that make, Gina, how much you work out? We're talking about, are you slender or not? That's what we're talking about. Not how often do you work out. We're talking about, are you a slender or not? And it's not like Gina's a big girl. She's not a big girl. But I don't know. Gina don't really seem to know herself. She's still walking around talking about she got a 26-inch waist. Oh, Gina. But I want to get into talking about this Eris segment with Eris and Jasmine, because they had a little one-on-one with them first. And they got right into Eris's cousin, Felina, and saying Felina was foul. Felina was foul, what she did. And Eris had a chance to clean it up. But what did Eris say? They start showing all these old clips with Eris. And I tell you, if you didn't like what you saw about Eris, the film you saw during the season, now they're showing this unreleased footage of Eris, and it's even worse. He is ridiculous. Did y'all see the part where he told Jasmine, it seemed like you intimidate Felina. I like a woman. What did he say? I like strong people who can hold their own. I mentioned this early in the season that it's quite obvious that Eris likes women that talk back and are loud. He likes the Felina types. That's what he likes. That was probably part of the turn off to Jasmine, because he likes people who talk back, who are loud, who's going to snap back on him. That's why he kept telling her, I need you to talk up, talk up. Why? Why? So Jasmine can stand up to bullies like Felina, and to come to find out this is what you like. All this unreleased footage, all it did was confirm what we already know about Eris. I know y'all heard the part when Eris said, now what's he been doing after the divorce or after the show's over? And he said, yeah, I'm trying not to be so much of a robot. I know y'all heard it. I know y'all heard it. I couldn't wait to get on here to talk to all my viewers and say, I know y'all heard Eris say that he's trying to do some different things different and not just be a robot. He used the word robot. Talking about now he's coming home. Instead, he wants to go out and feed the homeless as opposed to being a robot. But he was a mess over here talking about Jasmine. You look like you just worked a 16-hour shift. What you scared? You scared of Felina? You look like you was intimidated by Felina. He had just known Jasmine. He had just gotten to meet Jasmine. And here he is talking like this. He's a mess. Then he talking about he apologized on behalf of himself and Felina. No, you can't apologize on behalf of Felina. You're not no married couple. She didn't apologize on her own for what she said and did to Jasmina. We could care less what she said about you because she was 100% correct what she said about Aries. But all the stuff she was saying about Jasmine, that was foul. But they was trying to press him on exactly why weren't you attracted to Jasmine? Tell us, we want to hear it. And he's like, well, out of respect of Jasmine, I don't think I should say it. Don't be pressing him because we don't want to hear no more nasty words coming out of Aries' mouth. No more belittling, no more putting him down. We don't need you to poke him and goad him into saying whatever truth is in his heart, because we all know it's going to be mean spirit and mean and nasty, and we don't need to hear it. That robot needs to go to the salvage yard. What you do with robots you don't need no more? Send them to the salvage yard. Recycle the metal. Mac was up here trying to defend Aries. I guess they best buddies and everything. And Jasmine was like, oh, hell to the Mac. You need to stay out of it. You need to stop defending him. Jasmine snapped back on Mac. I'm telling you, I always said Jasmine got some snapback on her. I think she just wasn't trying to display it in her marriage. She was trying to be nice and calm. But even her girlfriend said, you know what? You, Aries, was over here wanting to get Megan Thee Stallion. You could have got Megan Thee Stallion because I'm pretty sure Jasmine would have done that. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You don't need to be with no one like Aries, Jasmine. You don't. In fact, Jasmine said that little man she was on the date with, that the friend boy is now her man. I'm happy for Jasmine. I'm happy for Jasmine. Jasmine, don't give him no more than a year. After a year, if he's not talking about marriage, go ahead and exit stage left. It don't take men more than a year to determine whether or not they want to marry you. You do not need to date nobody for 2, 3, 4 years. After a year, you make sure you spend a lot of time together during that whole year. After a year, he should be talking about getting married. If y'all want to get married within a year, he should be talking about it, and y'all should be engaged within 2 years and 3 years. Y'all should be married. That's it. That's the maximum. Then we had to listen to Aries talk about, maybe down the line in our marriage, we could be in an open marriage. Ugh. Oh, boy, people. I don't know. Does he think he's funny? Because he's not funny. He's not funny one bit. He said he ain't dating nobody. I know he ain't. He probably having a lot of booty calls, a lot of one-night stands, and a lot of hookups. But who would want to marry Aries for life? Nobody. Don't no one want Aries for life. They may want him for one night. That's it. But not for life. You see, he didn't call that woman he went on a date with Kenya or Kendra or whatever her name was. We knew that. We knew he wasn't interested in her. And just like he said, I know he didn't call her. We knew he was not going to call her. Jasmine was crying watching herself on the screen. She said, I can't believe that was me. I can't believe I let the life get sucked out of me by this man. I'm sure you can't believe it. I'm sure you couldn't believe that you could get the life sucked out of you by a robot. iRobot Aries. But that's what happens when you're dealing with a person that doesn't have no feelings and no emotions, and all they do is stomp on and trample on your feelings and your emotions. Bye, Aries. How many more episodes we got to get through with Aries? One more reunion part 2. We are ready for him to be off the screen. In fact, I don't even know why I wouldn't even be sitting next to Aries. I wouldn't be sitting next to him. I wouldn't be sitting that close to him. Nothing. He really don't even deserve the respect that Jasmine is giving him. But I guess Jasmine's a nice person. I wouldn't be sitting next to him. I'd be like, put me on another couch. Put me on another couch on the other side of the room. I don't need to be next to him. Then we move on to Nicole and Chris, and I'm glad their segment was short because, like I said, you know what? I'm happy for them. I'm happy when two people can find each other and get married and have a good, happy life. But I still, sometimes it's just hard to get through the segments with Nicole. But she said, you know what? We all prejudge her, or not prejudge her. We prejudged her husband because we said, people didn't believe that he had the patience to deal with her. I knew he did. I could tell he had the patience to deal with her. So he has enough of patience to deal with her. But there's some stuff brewing underneath. Did you see that little look Nicole cut Chris when Chris said that she was opinionated more so than him, but he was more open-minded? Nicole looked like she was about to slap that man in his face. She was mad. She was mad that Chris said that she's opinionated and that he's more open-minded than her. She didn't like it one bit, and she could barely contain her face. In fact, she didn't contain the facial expression. I saw it written all over her face. But it seems like she, the dad, everybody else has become one big happy family. Everything is going great. She says they barely have any fights, barely have any arguments. They're in love and they're getting along just great. I am happy for it, happy for it. I know she's trying to get a little job as a host or maybe host some type of after show next year like some of these other contestants did. I know that's what she's gunning for. I know she's gunning to be on some specials next year, to be the resident advisor to these other couples. I hope they limit her TV time. I really do hope they limit her TV time because I know she wants to take it over because she got that takeover spirit. But then we move on to Gina and Clint. Clint cleaned up. Clint cleaned up. He had on his three-piece suit. He had his beard nice and trimmed. He had his hair cut. He was good. He was all oiled up and greased up. He was suntan. He said he'd been doing a lot of traveling, a lot of boating, and all these other kind of good things. And even Gina had to sit over there and say he got swag now. What, Gina? He got swag now? Let me tell you, Gina regrets what happened. Gina regrets that she didn't give Clint more of a chance because after what is this, 3 months, she's finally coming around and realizing maybe he wasn't as bad as I thought. Now that she's back on the open market and she's not going to be getting a whole lot of phone calls. Maybe she says, wait, maybe I shouldn't have been as hard on Clint as I was because now that I'm around him and we've spent more time together, he's actually got swag. And then she's trying to talk about, well, maybe it will become something more. Nope, it ain't going to become nothing more because Clint said he got a girlfriend. He already got a woman and he said he's having a good time with her. Clint don't want Gina. Gina up here trying to talk about maybe we can, who knows, maybe there is something in our future. Gina, which one is it? Is it Clint or is it Mac? Is it Clint or is it Mac? Gina just want to be liked and loved and wanted by everybody. Clint does not want Gina. He's being nice to her. He's talking about why it didn't work, but there ain't no way Clint is trying to double back on Gina. Ain't no doubling back. He is not trying to double back on Gina. She trying to tell Clint missed the boat on her. No, he didn't miss the boat. He sat on the sidelines and raved at that cruise ship of moving on. He wasn't running up to that cruise ship. He saw that cruise ship leaving, that cruise ship of Gina, and he waved at it and said, bye, bye, ship ahoy, ship ahoy. Is that what they say? A bon voyage. Gina talking about she knows how to make a lemonade out of lemons. That's what she learned in this marriage. Girl, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You did not make a lemonade out of lemons. You added more lemons to the pot. You doubled down on the lemons. You didn't make it into no lemonade, tart lemonade. You made it tart lemonade. Lemon water. But it wasn't no lemonade with some sugar in it. Absolutely not. It wasn't no homegrown Southern style lemonade. No. It was some tart lemon water. She don't know how to make no lemonade. Clint was all the fun in the relationship. Why is Gina now trying to act like she brought a fun factor to the relationship? All she talked about was work, and to come to find out, she done lost $100,000 on her hair salon. I told y'all, we watching this other show, Ready to Love, and I keep talking about being with these entrepreneurs. I keep sounding the alarm whistles about being very careful dating and marrying entrepreneurs. And here Gina over here talking about her hair salon and all this, and she over here losing $100,000 with a contractor, probably because she probably paid him too far in advance and he didn't complete the work, and now he's gone off and done another job. A common scam. And she talking about she gonna run into some type of large business and she getting scammed by contractors for $100,000. No. What? So this can become your debt if you married to Gina? Like I said, Gina probably got all kind of business debt. All kind of business debt. Sure, this economy is bad, and one of the things people is cutting back on is luxuries. And ain't nobody going to get their hair done like they used to. Nobody's going to the hair salon every week anymore. They going every 2 weeks. They going once a month. So I know Gina's business has been impacted. Like I said on my other video when I was doing the Ready Love, these entrepreneurs are acting like they have not been impacted, and they've been impacted. I can tell you right now, there is no way Gina's business is as flourishing as it was prior to COVID. Absolutely not. Not prior to COVID, and not with this inflation rates going out here. High ass food. People trying to eat and put food on their plates and food in the refrigerator. They're not trying to go get color for their hair and trims for their hair. Gina can act like she's a beauty mogul, but I know the difference. I know the difference. I know the signs, and I'm telling you right now, she's struggling. She is struggling. Now we're moving on to the last couple, Kirsten and Shaq. I'm gonna tell you, they was dressed color coordinated and everything. We find out that Shaq done moved to Texas. And now we understand why Shaq said no. We understand why Shaq said no, because when you put all the pieces together, what you realize is back in the season when Shaq was talking to his mentees in Kirsten and talking about he got a job offer, this is the very job offer he got in Austin, Texas. This was the very job offer he got in Austin, Texas. Let me tell you, this is not a second job offer. He didn't get one back in the middle of the season, and now the one he acted on was this one at the end of the season. No, we're talking about only maybe about 6 weeks. The job he moved to for Austin, Texas is the job offer he got when he was actually on the show. And what he realized was Kirsten was not going to want to leave Austin. Kirsten was not going to want to leave Tennessee to go with him to Austin, Texas. That's what he knew. He knew Kirsten was not going to leave her mama, her family, her daddy, her friends, or whomever else to go to Austin, Texas. And what he said was, when he talked to the so-called prophet, I was like, prophet? What, you mean a soothsayer? He talking about a prophet who's one of his advisors or whoever in the PhD program with him. What is Shaq talking about? But anyway, this so-called prophet told him, choose yourself, look out for yourself. And what he said was, do I stay behind in Tennessee with this woman who I don't even know if it's going to work, or do I go for this job offer in Austin, Texas, and look out for myself and my career? And he chose his career for Austin, Texas, because he knew Kirsten would not move. That's why Kirsten got her no, because he knew. That's why he kept saying, I wanted Kirsten to be more supportive of me. What he wanted was, he wanted a wife that said, no matter where you move, no matter where your career takes you, I will go with you. That's what he wanted from a wife. That was his expectations. Kirsten run up here talking about, I was cooking for you, I was cleaning for you, I was washing clothes and folding clothes. And what Shaq was saying, and talking about she had lunch ready for him, and she was making sure that his papers were in order for his PhD program. And what Shaq was saying was, that's all fine and dandy, but what I really wanted you to do was, no matter where I went, even if I went on a business trip, I wanted you to go with me. If I moved to another state, I wanted you to go with me. And that's the type of support Shaq, that's his expectations. His expectation is that whatever wife he's going to get, that wife is going to want to be able to follow him around no matter where he needs to go. Everywhere. Then he needed to have communicated that. That's what he should have communicated. But Shaq's communication is horrible. He's a horrible communicator, and Kirsten ain't no better. But Shaq's communication is horrible because he never said that was the expectation. All he talked about was, I need more support. I need more support. He should have laid out what support looks like to him, because Kirsten is over here cooking and ironing and cleaning. And that's not the type of support Shaq was talking about. Not at all. I do think Shaq's confidence was shaken in the very beginning when Kirsten wasn't attracted to him. And she spent that first week and a half of talking about his looks and what he was and what he wasn't. I know it didn't go on the whole season, but I'm telling you, that jolted him. It jolted him. And kind of Kirsten is overlooking it. She's acting as if it wasn't a big deal, as if it didn't play a role in her marriage. It did. She may not have kept saying it for the whole season, but it was a big blow to the marriage in the very beginning, just like it was with Gina and Clint, and just like it was with Eris and Jasmine. It was a big blow in the beginning, and what Kirsten is overlooking is how big of an impact that had on the confidence of Shaq, and why he was unwilling in a lot of ways to even come back into the marriage and make more of an effort. It really did jolt him. But his expectations that he has, he didn't communicate them. He didn't communicate them one bit. Kirsten talking about, well, that's why we should have said yes, because it would give us more time. No, he couldn't say yes, because he couldn't give it more time in Tennessee, because he needed to get down here to Austin, Texas for this job. That's why he said no, because he didn't want to stay in Nashville, Tennessee, giving this marriage more time and miss out on that job in Austin, Texas. We already know that Shaq is selfish. He is selfish, just like Kirsten thinks about herself. So does Shaq. Shaq didn't want to take the chance on staying with Kirsten in Nashville, and it didn't work out, and then he missed out on his job in Austin, Texas. Absolutely not. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do that one bit. Kirsten was up here looking at houses in Nashville, looking around, talking about buying houses, setting down roots in Nashville. And Shaq was talking about setting down roots in Nashville. I need to be uprooting myself from Nashville. I'm trying to go somewhere else. They were not on the same page. They were not on the same plan. But let me tell you, it was also because of Shaq didn't communicate this. This season really was about a lot of men who were not planted in the city in which this show took place. Dom and Mac. Mac was not planted in Nashville. Truth be told, Eris is not really planted in Nashville. And now we find out Shaq was not planted in Nashville. So when you have women who are planted in Nashville, which is Gina, you have Gina planted in Nashville. You have Kirsten planted in Nashville. You have Jasmine planted in Nashville. You have Dawn planted in Nashville. But you have women who are not planted in Nashville. That means that that couple would have to make a big decision to be moving from that city really, really soon in the marriage. And I'm not sure that is an ask that should be done to a couple so soon. They should have never chosen these men if these men were not planted in that city. I'm starting to feel like just like they should have chose Mac because we knew he wasn't planted. I'm starting to realize that Shaq was not planted in Tennessee. He really wasn't. And I think that played a big role in his decision to not give his marriage a little bit more time. Because although they had their problems, which they did, I could see Kirsten's point that given our problems, why couldn't we at least get a little bit more time? Why not a couple of months after decision day? And I think the reason the answer was no was because Shaq wanted to hightail it down to Austin, Texas for that job. That's what I believe. Like the prophet said, a look out for yourself. And that's exactly what he did. Anyway, that's it, y'all. I guess I'll see you on Reunion, part 2, coming up next week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.